I'm so excited for a new year, a new chapter, new learnings, and new growth. And I want to share a few things that have held me up in my life and how the opposite has helped me move to more alignment in truly having it all. And those three things that have held me back are fear, which holds most people back, is dishonesty, and not always in the way that you think, and then being closed. I've always been pretty open, but closed to certain things that I feared at different points. And when I've unlocked those keys, the world just continues to deliver in unbelievable ways. So I'm going to talk a little bit about fear first. I've had a couple big fears in my life. And number one being the fear of money. So I worked hard. I had a partnership at Rejuve Medical. I loved it, but I always had the desire to do something on my own terms. But I was fear, would I be enough? Until a Tony Robbins conference, and I went there, and it's just like, JR, you are enough. This was my biggest fear holding me back. Even the last 6 years, I've been a fractional consultant, CEO, COO, CRO, CFO, and busy building other people's businesses, even though it's my own business, but still desire or required me to be away from home far more than I would desire. And my greatest want is to be fully present with my family most often. So, that fear of how am I going to make an income from my own home and then saying goodbye to the absolute dream opportunity and income that I've never even touched before, all to be in more alignment to do exactly what I want, using my best gifts to be home far more, even though I coach all my kids' sports. That truth has led me to even greater opportunities of stepping into being able to do my greatest things from home. So, another fear that I overcame last year was cold water. I've done a few cold plunges, but I still hated it. My body shifted through it. This year, I was able to do at Center Wellness, they had the cold plunge right there every morning, and I made a habit of it. At first, it was painful, 30 seconds. Then I got to 3 minutes, and then it was just like, oh my goodness, I no longer needed substances. In 2025, I was able to let go of my need for any cannabis, tobacco, you need it. I finally kicked any habits or things that didn't support my greatest good. Now, I'm not saying those things are bad for you. When in right relationship, they all have the potential to do amazing things. However, is the cold plunge helped give me the dopamine release, helped made me feel amazing afterwards. Some of the same feelings I got from those other substances. So that unlocked a big level. That I also practice plant medicine and sit with it. And I was able to go to much deeper places because I was able to, through the intense kind of takeoff part, or when you get into that cold plunge, I was able to calm myself. I was able to regulate. And that unlocked huge pathways of oneness, awareness, learnings that I wasn't able to access the same way before. So that's the fear. The next stage of the highest potential. And what is on the other side of fear? Freedom. And that is needing a little bit of courage to have that outcome of freedom. Now let's talk about truth. What this really means is the opposite of truth is dishonesty. Maybe you're lying to yourself. Maybe you don't speak your mind because you're worried what other people will think, or will you be seen? Are you at risk of losing your job if you speak your truth? And over the last 2 years, I've had to become the true CEO of my life. Doesn't mean that when I was working for these other practices that I didn't surrender to what they said. They were ultimately the financiers, the visionaries, but I would still speak my truth instead of being a yes person. So, like, hey, I don't believe this is the right strategy, but I will do it if you say so. This is what I believe to be the right strategy. Little subtle things, whether it's taxes or a white lie or withholding. These things I believe in integrity, being in truth. If you're selling something, do you embody and do you do it? Do you believe in it and enough to be selling it? So I mentioned on one of the podcasts that I'm doing, I stepped into the Doctors of Change podcast, is that I had the opportunity to run a peptide company or be an affiliate. And as much as I love the idea. It's hot and popular right now. I wanted to first take them, use them, see the outcomes, which I've seen in some of the clinics that I use, but see for myself. So I can integrally make a dollar off of it. And I still have yet to make a dollar off of it because I wasn't ready. But now, having been on them, it's time. And that way I can live within my values. Truth is always about values. I don't like rules as a visionary and a chain breaker, but values like rest, otherwise your body plays a price, stretch, all those things, those good rules of life matter. And the other thing that I said that holds you back is sometimes being closed. Is if you've been stuck in the same patterns or loops, you may have to try something different. I've always been pretty open, but at the same time, I would close my heart out of past betrayals, of people not holding their words. Now I recognize that's part of human behaviors. I'm just going to love. And when it falls out of alignment, I can consciously choose otherwise. I don't have to protect, I can just transmute. That's a higher level than what it may somebody else be of like, they know there's a stuck pattern, but they're not willing to try something different. They're not willing to get a mentorship. They're not willing to try new skills or to try medicines or protocols or holistic or alternative methods when the current strategies are not working. So if you think you know it all, the ego will be humble. So call this ego death. I used to think I had the right business strategies that people use. Now longer, I do not think it's about a tool or tactic. It's about these three things that I'm talking about right now. So I'm so excited to share some of these stories of people that went away from dishonesty to truth, that went from fear to taking small steps to live the life of their dreams and have exactly what they want. As you step into this new year, I highly encourage to do what you want, work with who you want, how you want. Now, you may not be able to jump to that today because of many obligations, contracts, and agreements, but there's a way to take process steps. And then ultimately, openness. The other side of that is love, peace, not protecting, not fearing. So I encourage you to step into the life of your dreams. Follow the Doctors of Change podcast. Learn from the doctors, entrepreneurs, visionaries that are stepping in to these real possibilities so they can have it all. So thank you. Happy New Year. God bless. I love you.